Well, hello everyone and happy Sunday. And I have been really enjoying my Sunday today. I have been relaxing indoors. And so right now I'm gonna go ahead and get the chickens and round them up so that they can go in for the evening. So right now the chickens are out foraging. So I'm gonna go ahead and gather them all up and round them up. And then I'm gonna go in my garden and see what I have to harvest for a little quick meal for me. This is the last day of my garden eating, and right now, you know, the garden is in transition, and so, you know, my fall crops are slowly but surely coming in. I have planted some greens, leafy greens, and so they're slowly but surely growing, and I probably end up just having a nice BLT sandwich or something like that for dinner, but we'll check and see what we have today. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab those chickens, so come along with me and let's have some fun. Come on, girls. Guys, come on, come on, come on. Go, go, go. Go, go, go. You guys know where to go. Bumblebees. You guys, if you want to attract bumblebees to your garden, you definitely want to plant the phlox. Okay, so today we're going to harvest our first zucchini of the season. I have my helper today, my wonderful husband.
Hey.
Oh, wow. Look at that. That is a wonderful size. I didn't want it to get too big because they're more tasty small like that.
This is the Cocozelle Italian variety of zucchini, and it has the alternating dark and light green striping. This is one of my favorite because it has a real mild, nutty flavor. And I don't know if my wife remembers this or not. After she fell in love with me in college, and I fell in love with her, okay?
That is
but
so
what
funny.
sealed the deal, which made
true.
me ask her to marry her, she made me zucchini pie. And that sealed the deal. Okay, that's it.
So guys, this is my collard vase, and it had actually went to seed, but I cut off the flowers. And look at the harvest. The leaves are getting much bigger, and the collard vase is one of those vegetables that you do not have to spray, unlike my other kale plants. This particular collard vase, I never have to spray it for worms. It just keeps on producing, and like this is the 3rd year, maybe even the 4th year for this particular collard. Excited. This is just one plant here, guys. So I'm going to be planting a lot more of this collard vase because we eat it all the time. I really love it. Well guys, I'm on the back side of the fence that I installed, and I am happy with the way it looks. My lines are pretty straight, and I just eyed this all the way down. Really didn't use much measurements when I installed this, and I installed every last one of these posts just about by myself. Like I said, my husband was injured when I was installing this fence for the rest of the way anyways, and it's about 200 feet long. And I'm over here by my wood chips, and my husband had the wood chips dumped over here, and it's much easier for me to be able to fill up my raised beds with these wood chips. And this is about 3 loads here, and it's mixed with leaves and wood chips from the storms we've been having here in Georgia. And on the other side of the property is where we used to dump the wood chips, and that was a long haul trying to get it over to my garden. But with the wood chips being over here right behind my fence, it's much easier to fill up my little cart right here and just to walk around my garden. And the chicken coop is like right here. And this is just wood from the trees that were cut down that we have stored on this side of the property. We have other wood as well, because we have a fireplace that we burn pretty much all winter long. So this is my wood chips, and I am really excited about getting my raised beds filled with the wood chips, and also spreading it around my flower beds, which we know wood chips gives a lot of nutrients to your plant. Today I'm harvesting some blackberries. So my blackberries give me a little harvest. I like freezing these. and putting them in smoothies for later dates. Okay guys, I'm gonna start right here because everything you see from here all the way back, except for the one tomato plant that I planted right there, and the peas that are gonna be growing with this trellis, are all volunteer plants that I received this year. So this right here is my scarlet runner bean plant, and I am growing this for the beans inside because I love the beautiful beans. And this was a volunteer plant, and I'll be harvesting the bean inside and putting them, you know, on my cabinet or on the counter in a glass jar, just because I think they're pretty. And then what I could do is throughout the winter months, I'll sprinkle them inside a soup. Let me see, this is a small one. I don't think it's going to do anything, but let me see if you could see what the bean is going to look like. So you can kind of see what the bean is going to look like. It's a beautiful multicolored bean, and once this dries up a bit, I'll be harvesting all the beans from this plant and put it in jars. So I had over 10 volunteer ground cherry plants right in here, and I pulled one up right there, and I have a couple more in my raised bed garden. And this is the result of a daily harvest. And like I said, I'm gonna be making some jam. So that's like 10 plants right there. And then I have a volunteer pepper plant right here, and I really don't know what type this is yet, but it is a beautiful pepper plant. And then there's another volunteer pepper plant right there. So that makes 10, 11, 12. That looks like it's going to be a pepperoni plant. Let me go around there and show you. See the peppers? Yeah, that's a pepperoni plant, and this was a volunteer plant. So that's 10, 11, 12. Another pepper plant right here makes 13 plants. Like I said, this was a tomato that I actually did plant. And right in here is a volunteer, actually 2 volunteer watermelon plants. And I planted some new seeds over in here for some honeydew and watermelon and pumpkin, that kind of thing that hopefully will be coming up. I may have to reseed my pumpkin plant because it didn't germinate, but some of my watermelon seeds did germinate. Like that's one right there, one over here, and then this is another watermelon. I think that's a butternut squash right there. But look at this watermelon volunteer, and let me show you all of the melon that are coming out of these few plants. This is a black raspberry plant right there. There's a, if you can, I don't know if you can see this, but if you look closely, there's one watermelon there. I mean, these are Charleston grays, I do believe. And let me show you something else. Look at this pepper bush. This is actually several. Let me see if I can count for you guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Guys, it's about 20 pepper plants right here. And I'm going to be pulling up these, of course, and only leaving the big pepper and then transplanting them. So there's 20 volunteer peppers just right here. So that's 20. And then what did I say? I had 10 volunteer ground cherries, so that's 30. And then the 3 peppers right there, 33. Then the watermelon plant, I have 2 of those. Therefore, 35. And look, guys, another volunteer pepper plant. So right here I have 1 big pepper and then 2 big pepper. So I have 1 big pepper here, 2 big pepper, and then another big pepper here. I mean another pepper here. So let's see, let me count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so right here, and this is 5 more peppers, so that's 35. That's 40, guys. And then right here is another pepper plant, 40, 41, 42, 43. So that's 43 peppers just right here. And let me take you around and show you what this volunteer watermelon plant is doing, guys. Look at this massive watermelon. And I didn't have to do anything. There's one right there, one right there, and one right there. Let me pull this weed, guys. I hate weeds. So that's 1, 2, 3, and then look at this, 4, and then 5, 6. There's a baby one right there, so 7 just right here. And I did see a few more up there, so 7, 8, 9, 10 watermelon growing, and I didn't have to do anything at all. I'm so excited about my freebie plants this year. And look at my fence, guys. When my husband was injured, I installed this entire fence with all the posts, and I had to protect my garden from our woods that goes back deep, about 2 to 3 acres. Okay guys, so let me take you into my greenhouse polytunnel, and as you go in my polytunnel, you'll see green bags of potatoes here, and I have potatoes there. And this is my seating area, and my husband just brought this out here because I'm going to be putting up a shelf so I can plant my fall crops, because as you can see here, this shelf is already full of plants. So right here are some of the free pepper plants, 1, 2, that are just holding in water right now because I haven't had a chance to pot them up. But we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. What did I tell you? Like 43. So that's 53 volunteer plants. And then right here are more volunteers that I did get a chance to pot up. Right here, 2 more. And this is one as well. So more pepper plants that I'm going to be potting up or giving them as gifts. Have a couple more down here, and have a couple more tomato plants to put out. That's well overdue as well. And while we're in here, I wanted to show you my garlic that I've already harvested. You saw that in one of the clips. Decided to just go ahead and hang my garlic in here, and it's just hanging up in my polytunnel. Got some cucumbers, the seedlings. Now these cucumber seedlings, when I planted my cucumbers out there, I pulled up these because that was too, I planted like 3 in one area, and I figure I can plant these out later when my cucumbers seem to always succumb to some type of disease. I'm not sure. I can just replant these. And I have more potatoes that I'm getting ready to plant out. I have a sweet potato, and this is some ginger. But I wanted to show you my drying station. Now this drying station is actually for herbs, and I thought, how cool. No flies or anything can get inside of here, and it has a zipper so you can go ahead and put your herbs right in here, and then zip them up. Let's see if I can hold this and show you at the same time. So it zips up really easy. And let's see, it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It has 8 sections for you to dry your herbs, and that is going to be excellent for me because my lemon balm, oregano, and peppermint grows crazy here. And I do have thyme growing, and basil, it also grows crazy, and it seems like I can't harvest it soon enough or find places in my house to hang it to dry. I don't want flies getting on it, so this is perfect for me to dry my herbs. And right here I have more garlic hanging, and I'm really loving this herb dryer because it's going to come in really handy for me. So I guess one important tip when you're doing your gardening for the year, because honestly guys, I have twice as many peppers and it was a bunch of these little leaves. I mean, when they're really, really tiny babies. Maybe I have a clip to show you. I pulled them up and they were way near the front of the garden up there. I'm like, okay, these weeds. No, they weren't weeds, guys. They were actually peppers. And I wish I would have let them grow up, because it was a different variety up there. So anyways, just to let you know, so one tip is be careful when you go pulling weeds in your garden, because it's probably going to be some type of, especially if they're in near a hole that you had a vegetable there previously, it could have reseeded itself. And honestly, guys, the vegetables that reseed themselves are the ones that do the best by far. They give you the best harvest by far. I've never had this many watermelon growing from one watermelon plant. Last year I had like 10 different watermelon growing, and it took up about this much space, maybe a little more, but so many watermelon. I mean, I did get a lot of watermelon last year if you look at my past video, but this is amazing to have early watermelon. We're going to be able to eat watermelon in July, I do believe. Well, today I'm going to go ahead and harvest these grapes while I can. A lot of the birds are eating them, so I'm going to go ahead and harvest these. So here's my harvest for today. I have grapes and tomatoes. I believe this is big rainbow tomatoes, grape tomatoes, basil, green beans, a few peppers. I also made a little bouquet of flowers. Well, guys, I wanted to show you my cattle panel trellis that my hubby helped me install, and it's right in front of the tomato trellis arbor. And I'm going to be growing my winter squash up and around the trellis. But I wanted to show you my tomato trellis arbor over here, not too far from the chicken coop. And guys, look at all the tomatoes. Finally, I think I have a way to support all my indeterminate tomatoes. They grew up and over the trellis, and when you walk inside, look, guys, all my tomatoes. Look how big this tomato is. It's huge, so heavy. And I have more large tomatoes. So that's from that side. And this is the other side of the tomato trellis. And I have, these are the newer tomatoes, and they're starting to grow up and over the trellis as well. This is the other side of the tomato trellis with more tomatoes growing. Look how large these tomatoes are. So yeah, it's doing really well, and I'm really happy that I decided to grow tomatoes this way this year.